Hi everyone. I came here hoping to say good morning, but I guess I'm going to say good afternoon. I know it's been a pretty long morning. How's the Josh? Are you guys feeling? Have we tired all of you out? So there are two ways of doing this. I mean, we can, do it like a formal presentation, and I can talk for the next 1 hour. I've been given 1 hour, I think. I hope I still have the 1 hour, right? Or it can be more a narrative and maybe some interaction. I don't know what you all will prefer. Any thoughts? The latter, okay. So I don't have too much of data. I think you all perhaps know our data better than us. So I'm not even going to go there. It's going to be more a narrative, and since it's 1 hour and I don't want to impose myself on you, there are going to be some films and some AVs to kind of take the sting of the monologue. Okay, so I'm going to start with something that's deeply personal, something that awe-inspires the team and I every day, something that I know most of you would know, but something that's very important to perhaps cover at the beginning. And it's the journey of a brand that you all may say it's very valuable, but for us, what is important is it's perhaps one of India's most loved brands. And the story of this brand is what inspires us every day and gives us the joy to work, to nurture and nourish it to the next stage of its journey. A brand that was born as an outlier, a brand that was born as a challenger, but forced perhaps to become mainstream, but didn't lose the challenger DNA and ended up disrupting perhaps the very category. A brand that has told 1,000 stories with the woman at the center, stories of lives, stories of lifestyles, stories of relationships, in its journey so far. Some of the stories were stories that were immortal in India, because jewelry in India is not fashion. Jewelry in India is culture. Jewelry in India is deeply intertwined with history. And some beautiful stories that were adorned along the way. And in these years, the brand has evolved into what we think is rooted in the spirit of today's woman. And Tanishq today reflects everything about today's woman. She is warm, she is elegant, she is authentic, and she is imaginative. And I don't think anyone in this room would dispute that. But to bring alive the last point, I'd like to show the blockbuster campaign of Diwali, one that changed the trajectory of our business last year.
handcrafted jewelry inspired by a magical realm. Mriganka by Tanishq.
Thank you. It would have been right at this stage to introduce our marketing head, Becky. She's not here, but I'm sure we can give her a big round for this campaign. It was our Diwali campaign of 2025, but there's no Diwali in that. There's no Diya. Maybe the only cracker was the film and the campaign, and there's no Diwali in it. And that's the imaginative license that this brand has, and a license that consumers have given this brand and accepted it, that this collection and this campaign really changed our fortunes. And I'm sure you all have been following the track record pre-festive and post-festive for Tanishq. But more important than selling jewelry, I think what Tanishq has done is won hearts by being there for the woman, by understanding her, and maybe even showing society as how it should be or could be as opposed to how it is. And it is these campaigns that perhaps some of you haven't seen, but these are the campaigns that's helped to position Tanishq or take it to a place where it has won the hearts of women. And let me show you one of them.
From how we start our days to how we manage our time, we choose it all. Everyone celebrates empowered women.
Sameer?
पर हम जब कुछ और चूज करते हैं, like our own idea of empowerment, shouldn't that choice also be celebrated equally?
Thank you. And the reason why I'm paying this homage here today is because it all started almost 30 years back. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be celebrating 30 years of Tanishq on the 20th of July, 45 days from today. So thank you. I know many of you have been tracking the company for so many years. Many of you have believed in us well before we started believing in ourselves. So thank you for that as we celebrate the 30th year for Tanishq. The other reason why I started with a brand story and a narrative is because of the woman in India today and the big strides and changes that we are seeing. From a participant, she clearly is an owner of her narrative. From someone who perhaps used to look only at value, she is certainly seeing deeper meaning in everything. From understanding marriage rituals to crafting her own wedding, to choosing the brands that she chooses to buy beyond just the way it looks to the deeper meaning. And from looking at big occasions in jewelry to really celebrating small moments every day. There is a big shift in the woman, in our consumer, and the way she looks at brands and the way she looks at jewelry. And I think the big shift that you'll see in our category is from the legacy of a jeweler. I think this category is going to move towards jewelry brands. That move has already happened, and jewelry brands that hold deeper meaning for her. Brands that resonates with her, that speaks to her heart. And the way we'd like you to look at us is therefore a house of jewelry brands, brands that have their own space. I know some of you had some questions some years back saying, okay, now that you've acquired Carrot Lane, why do you need Mia? And I think we've answered that question in the last few years. And Mia is our fastest growing brand in the stable today. And each of these brands that you see here are going to grow And whilst you see the big gola in the center, each of these spheres is going to become bigger and bigger. And hopefully you'll not see too much of white space in this graph the next time we meet. And thanks to these brands and thanks to everything that each of these brands has done over the last 7 years, the business for TMZ, as all of you call it, has grown 4 times in 7 years. Thanks to the work done by the teams and by our brands, even the CAGR in the last 3 years, whether it is the two most important things that we look at, diamond growth, overall growth, and buyer growth, looks really, really, really handsome. And thereby, the market share that you see is moving up. We are fortunately in a category that is more than doubled in this period. And we are a house of brands that have almost doubled our market share in this period. And that explains the 4 times growth in 7 years mathematically. And all this has come on the back of things that you all may not see, but today you can see it just outside this room. There is virtually an immersive experience that, in a way, shares the backbone of this organization. Ajoy spoke about it. There's also an incredible backbone in terms of diamond sourcing, ensuring provenance, ensuring authenticity, which is so critical today, which the organization has invested in now for more than 2 decades. A fantastic backbone, a center of excellence in design that Revati has spoken of. And importantly, what we can't perhaps stop speaking of, a retail network that perhaps doesn't sleep from Singapore to Santa Clara. And lastly, customer relationships that I think any brand will die for. What you see here, you see in this picture, Ajoy surrounded by perhaps what you may think are supermodels. And yes, they are supermodels, but they are our supermodels, our customers. And we celebrated some time back 3 lakh families, and it was a way of thanksgiving to them in Ahmedabad. So all of these are our supermodels, our customers who walked the ramp for us. In some other investor meet that we have with them, they are the ones who sit in the audience because they are so invested in the brand. They are not analysts. So I won't say it's a investor and analyst meet, but it's an investor meet because they are invested their hard-earned money, their emotions, and their trust behind brand Tanishq. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what we treasure the most, more than the 75,000 crores of revenue that you all are aware of, more than anything else. This is really the secret sauce of the business. And this is what helps us to deal with the forces at play, nothing different, what you all are aware of. The first set that provide us the tailwinds and that provide space for authentic brands in India to grow in jewelry. And the second half, which really gives us the playbook which we have perfected in the last couple of years to deal with either demand volatility or competitive intensity, both of which have been extremely high in the last 2 to 3 years. But you'll agree that execution and ideas have been such that we've been able to deal with that. But what that asks of brands in India, it asks innovation as an imperative. Innovation in value, innovation in making jewelry exciting and accessible. It's not really something which is nice to do, but something which is an imperative today. And you saw a lot of that in Revati's presentation as to how we are dealing with that, delivering on that. And all of that, all of these assets, all of these things that we treasure are the ones that fire the growth engines that I think we have shared with you the last investor meet. The first half, which are the category and market growth engines, and the bottom half, which is really the enablers that drive these growth engines. And we are fortunate that most of them are pretty much in the green zone. The only one that we believe is still soft is sentiment, which is there in every day, both in gold and diamonds, to do with inflation in the category. So let me quickly take you through this to give you a better understanding of these growth levers and how are they going to fire growth going forward. First and most important for us, which has driven growth in the last 6 years, is regionalization. The category is extremely, extremely regional. And we began this journey in a state which is the home state for Titan, but ironically, a state where our market share was the lowest. Very, very tough market to crack. I mean, if Kerala is God's own country, Tamil Nadu is gold's own country, and there's no shortage of brands and very, very good reputed brands with legacy in the state. And we started with building a very, very strong brand platform. And the brand platform had a local idiom, and the platform is called Pudumai Pen, which is the new age modern woman. Poetry by the late poet Subramani Bharati. From there, we moved to Bengal, another tough state, very reputed brands with legacy, where the local idiom changed from Pudumai Pen to Srijoni, the creator of new culture. We took the platform to AP, where the local idiom moved to Lekni, writer, crafter of her own path. And lastly, as we speak today, the journey is moved to Maharashtra, where the idiom changes to Manaswini, the treasurer and propagator of local culture. Two very strong pillars here. First, brand platforms, and second is strengthening the cultural connect. To bring alive what we are doing in Maharashtra, let me show you the film.
आमचे हे मौल्यवान दागिने त्यांना आपण अगदी कधीही घालावे,
कारण हे फक्त दागिने नाही, ही आहे आमची संस्कृती. अभिमानाने लिहून त्यांना आम्ही जग अजून सुंदर बनवतो.
संस्कृतीचा सन्मान आमचा स्वाभिमान.
नव महाराष्ट्राच्या मनस्विनी त्यांच्या स्वाभिमानाला गौरवाने सजवतो आम्ही.
Thank you. The other leg of regionalization is in product, in celebrating local culture, which Revati also spoke of. Just to give you an example, Abahon, I don't know if there are people from Bengal here. Abahon is our collection last Pujo. Jewelry inspired by Ma Durga's representation in pandals, inspired by what is called as Dakir Saj or Sholar Saj. Beautiful jewelry that celebrates Bengali culture, that celebrates puja pandals and Ma Durga's representation. So small ways in which you make the brand be seen as an insider in that state. And these small steps have given us big results that you can see here. FY26, we are at double the market share in TN, we are double the market share in Bengal, and 1.5 times the market share of FY21 in the 3 lead states of what we call as winning in many India. And this is where Maharashtra is headed. We expect to double our market share in FY30 to what it has been last year. Moving from regionalization to wedding, and pretty much regionalization and wedding are joined at the hip. What we do in every region is what translates into wedding in that state. But here again, many collections which are regional, inspired by regional culture. This is what is running currently in what we call as Bharat, which is Bihar and Jharkhand. Madhubani painting inspired jewelry. And for what we call as metro brides, brides who want avant-garde jewelry, a lot of signature collections and designer collaborations. This is what we've done lately with Arun. However, if you go back, and I know many of you have questions that 50% of this category is wedding, and what are you guys doing here? Is it a big contributor to Tanishq? I think if you look at the history, we started about 15 years back with Tanishq, the wedding jeweler. After that, we moved 2013 with the iconic second wedding film that till today is remembered. But it was in 2017 that we spun off jewelry under a sub-brand called Riva. And we had pretty much jewelry designed for over a dozen communities. In the last 4 to 5 years, retail has joined brand and product, and pretty much in about 150 stores, we have almost an entire floor dedicated to wedding jewelry. And last year, we took that forward with our first Riva Wedding Lounge. The first store dedicated 100% to wedding jewelry. And let me just take you through a short video that presents the store. So if any of you are in Delhi, please do visit the Riva Wedding Lounge at South Extension, a store, beautiful store, doing fabulously well, and we hope to add 1 or 2 stores to it in the top cities in the coming years. Moving from wedding to gold jewelry, which is the mainstay of the brand, there's a lot that we do to strengthen what we call as the core, which delivers buyers to us, a lot in the traditional space, but a lot in redefining what daily wear jewelry should be, whether it's men's jewelry, modern jewelry, and these days 18 karat to keep it accessible. And there's a lot that we do to reimagine handcrafted jewelry that Revati spoke of. And I'm going to show you here a film because we're adding a third category to jewelry after gold, after studded or diamond jewelry. The third dimension is jewelry with natural gemstones. Revati spoke of it, but do allow me to show you the film that really cracked this open for us this Akshaya Tritiya.
आज कौन सा पहनूं?
हल्के हल्के से खिले कुछ मन में से
Burgundy
and green है तेरा जहां रंग
Natural gemstones that brighten up the world. Hues by Tanishq.
Want to play it again? Let's go back. Okay. You played from the back end?
आज कौन सा पहनूं?
हल्के हल्के से खिले कुछ मन में से
Burgundy
and green है तेरा जहां रंग
Natural gemstones that brighten up the world. Hues by Tanishq.
Thank you. I think it's the right time in the presentation for me to introduce our head of category and merchandising is Vijesh here. Yeah, so Vijesh is our head of category and merchandising, the one behind this, along with, of course, our designer Garima, who's not here. Okay, so from wedding, regionalization, gold, we move to a huge, huge opportunity of high-value diamonds, one that's driven by the K-shaped recovery in India, one that all of you are target audience for, one that our share is relatively lower and we have significant headroom to kind of grow. And there's a lot that we do here in terms of exciting collections. There's a lot that we do in terms of innovation, and the Celeste Solitaire that we have is the one by far, pretty much you could say, gives the best light performance. Is also the one that we are doing a lot in high jewelry, which Revati spoke of. But what's exciting is the way we launch this every year at Paris, and the last couple of years with Rahul Mishra, and also the way we take it to market. A lot of it is not in the store, it's through exhibitions, through events, which creates excitement for consumers. But it's also one where we have a brand that is extremely special, a brand that pretty much we treasure with our lives, a brand that's going to drive prestige and pride for us in days to come. A very, very unique, warm luxury brand that has deeper meaning. And it's a good time for me to introduce Aman Preet, who's our business head for Zoya. And it's also a time for me to introduce the brand to you. Let me show you the film.
Some of us are born twice. The first time for the world. The second time for ourselves. Reborn. Zoya.
So our focus in Zoya is really to create a brand that has a deeper meaning. We call this the heroine's journey, the inner journey of a woman and the relationship she has with herself. I think Revati explained this beautifully when she introduced My Embrace to you all. And this is truly an iconic collection, iconic design language from Zoya. But also what sets Zoya apart is gemstone mastery of diamonds and natural gemstones. And if you haven't been to a store, do visit a Zoya store to see it for yourself, because no words can kind of explain that. The other piece which is unique about Zoya is the warm luxury experience. It's not a cold luxury experience that you see with certain brands from overseas. And it is, any Zoya store that you see is pretty much an oasis. You got chaos outside, maximalist kind of brands outside, and when you visit a Zoya store, it's an oasis of calm. But more importantly, what sets Zoya apart is the 300 unique experiences curated that we deliver to our customers every year, whether it is introducing them to a football superstar who recently visited India, or whether it is taking customers to see the great migration in Masai Mara. Those are the kind of experiences we are talking about. Moving now to everyday diamonds, which is critical to us, both in terms of diamond adoption, which is very important, as well as buyer growth. And there's a lot that we do in Tanishq in terms of year-round collections to keep it exciting. There's a lot of stuff that we do on innovation. If any of you is looking at an engagement ring, may I suggest something? I have to make a plug here, right? I can't let it be without a plug. So the Tanishq Soulmate collection is the most unique engagement ring that you can think of. Diamonds that have been together for 1 billion years to help you start a relationship of a lifetime. So 2 diamonds that have been together, which adorn his and her. So truly, truly an innovation never done before. But it's also time for me to introduce to you the fastest growing brand in our stable and the business head who leads the brand, Shyamla. Pretty much Mia's been a well-kept secret, but this is time to unveil what really the brand stands for. And let me present our anthem for this summer.
Precious every day, you know it is all you. You don't really see it, I'm here to tell you the truth. Oh, precious every day.
A brand that's driven by Gen Z energy, both in the team and outside. We now have almost 300 brand stores apart from the 500 Tanishq, giving it an enviable 800 retail touch points. I think each of our collection drives consumers to frenzy, and Revati also spoke of the latest one, apart from experiences that we create for our consumers. But what you'll be most happy about is where the brand is kind of moved pre-COVID to today, from a mere 100 crores to 2,000 crores in FY26. So I hope there are no more questions that will come saying, now that you have CaratLane, why do you need Mia? Yeah, I think that deserves a big round of applause. Okay. Now, you know, I mentioned this yesterday when we had a Beyond interaction. I don't think in the history of this company, a single store has got this kind of attention that Beyond has got. From all of you, I don't think we've ever had a single store opening that deserved an investor call. And some people say it took our share price up, significantly when people figured out we are entering lab-grown diamonds. But I'll leave that because we have a CFO in the room. So Beyond, the latest baby in the stable. And the consumer context here, when we spoke to a lot of consumers, is why do we need to take sides? It's not like, I don't know how many Star Wars fans are here, but it's not like we are moving to the dark side or they're staying in the light side. I mean, why can't we be on both sides? There are occasions when we will choose to buy either lab-grown or natural diamonds. And there are times when somebody is gifting us when we will insist that we only want a natural diamond. So the Indian consumer is smart. She knows what she wants. I don't think we need to choose for her. All we have to do is give her the choice and allow her to choose what she wants. And all our research kind of told us that. And that's really been the reason behind Beyond. And the way she looks at natural diamonds are for its aura, to celebrate milestone occasions, and the way she looks at lab-grown diamonds is really to indulge, and to indulge frequently. And we believe this is what allows us another engine, apart from Tanishq and Zoya and CaratLane, to drive diamond adoption in the country, a country where we are second in the list after the US, but the diamond penetration is pretty low, anywhere from 12 to 15%. So the headroom is immense. So the way we are playing this game, it's Beyond from the House of Titan. It's a lifestyle brand. It's not a brand which is an heirloom. So no exchange on the diamond, but exchange on the gold. Fantastic pricing, exciting product. And please do visit the store. We have two now, one in Andheri and one in Noida. And most importantly, we hope to get to 100 stores soon. So do watch this space. There's a lot that will evolve. So pretty much I've covered the growth engines on top, which are the market and category growth engines. I'll spend just a little bit of time on the enabling growth engines. And the first one, which we call as retail transformation, it's a good opportunity for me to introduce Sunil Raj, who's our retail head. Sunil is there. And again, this is a journey that's very, very close to our heart. It's a journey of transforming a chain of 540 stores. And it's not about adding retail new stores, but it's about sheer transformation of the stores that we have. Here's a 10,000 square feet store in Vaishali Nagar in Jaipur, which we opened earlier last year. Prior to this, we had, I think, a 3,000 square feet store. And what you have here is something that's taking that market by storm. This again, we had a 3,000 or maybe slightly less than 3,000 square feet store in Sector 18 in Noida, and this is how the store looks today. You saw a traditional store in the earlier picture. You see a very modern Tanishq in this picture. And this is the before and after of the store in Hazratganj. So ladies and gentlemen, you can see the real transformation in pictures here. But what we've also done is use a lot of local craft in every store to design the store such that it resonates and connects with people in every part of the country. And therefore, when we say we are steady in our expansion of Tanishq, we will open anywhere close to 40 stores a year, even going forward. The bigger story is not the 40 that we will open, but the bigger story is in the 60 stores that we will renovate year on year. Each of those 60 is as good as opening 60 new stores, because the square feet of each of those stores typically ends up being double of the original store, apart from the 60 Mia stores that we will open every year. So the retail transformation story is the bigger one, not merely the retail addition, which will keep happening. And the minute the square feet of the store doubles, the categories that you can expose, the facets of the brand you can expose, and the experience that you can deliver to consumers is something else. Lastly, I think this is the last part of the growth engines that I want to speak of, and both of which this are related to trust and are related to practices at the store. And the first is gold exchange, and let me show you the film that pretty much was like a Super Bowl film. It went live with the IPL finals. This is
तनिष्क गोल्ड एक्सचेंज आपको देता है अपने पुराने सोने का बेस्ट वैल्यू, जहां सब कुछ आपके आंखों के सामने होता है। पुराना सोना वे करना और गोल्ड मेल्टिंग प्रोसेस भी हर स्टेप बिल्कुल ट्रांसपेरेंट है। तो ये हुई ना आपकी जीत, और क्योंकि पुराना सोना एक्सचेंज करने से इंडिया को नया गोल्ड इंपोर्ट नहीं करना पड़ेगा, तो ये हुई इंडिया की भी जीत, जो तनिष्क गोल्ड एक्सचेंज को बनाता है विन विन एक्सचेंज।
I know this is kind of topical and been in the news last few weeks after the Prime Minister said what he said, but we've been saying this for the last 8 months since September, that exchanging is the smartest way to buy jewelry. It's good for the country, it's good for you. And we've just stepped it up ever since in the last 3 weeks. And thanks to everything that we've done since September of last year, almost 1 in 2 transactions that we have an exchange element in it, and there's been a 750 bips or 7.5% jump in exchange contribution, which has further gone up in the last couple of weeks since every jeweler is talking exchange in the last 2 weeks. Lastly, and most importantly, Tanishq borrows from the Tata name, and there is implicit trust that the Tata name has, but it's also important for us to give back and add to that reservoir of trust. We did that almost 20 years back with the gold carat meter. This is our diamond carat meter moment, and we'd like all of you to experience that outside. The Diamond Expertise Center, a set of equipment, most of which we've designed in-house with about 31 PhDs in the team. This includes the diamond carat meter, which tells you whether your stone is a natural diamond or a lab-grown diamond or a simulant of a diamond. A diamond clarity viewer, which tells you the clarity of the diamond you hold, whether it is SI or it's VVS or VS. A table marking viewer that actually authenticates the solitaires, each of which now comes with a Tanishq logo and a number. And lastly, a light scope that tells you the light performance of your solitaire beyond the 4 Cs, because there's so much to a diamond beyond 4 Cs that a light scope can. So it is the first time, ladies and gentlemen, that something like this has been brought to consumers anywhere in the world. The first time. And one that's going to be a game changer in an industry where there are practices which are not always above board. So yeah, so that's pretty much it on Tanishq Mia Zoya India. And now we travel overseas to give you a glimpse of what's cooking. Anand spoke a lot, so where's Anand? He's made some of what I'm going to say, quite easy. But let me introduce you first to our head of international, Mr. Neeraj Bakre. And then let me introduce you to the international business.
Uniqueness and the single piece available in the jewellery with no doubt.
We've had a lovely time, thank you, and you've been very, very helpful, and I'm more than pleased with my purchase. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that, I know it kind of went in a flash, but we're on a tight timeline of 1 hour here. So just to give you in a snapshot what it's all about, 5 million Indians in the US, extremely well settled, well educated, a lot of them design seekers, not, and therefore absolutely target audience for brand Tanishq. In terms of competitive intensity, pretty much low to mid, therefore a very, very good market for the brand. Brand Tanishq extremely respected, extremely valued. Many of those who've gone to the US have gone in the tenure of Tanishq in the last 20 years, very few of them prior to that. And we have 10 Tanishq stores which are doing extremely, extremely, extremely well. Come to the other side, 4 million Indians in GCC. Anand spoke of it. Many more Indians who are of the Tanishq profile now coming into the geography. A large number of value seekers, but it is the design seekers who are increasing in population. 2 million tourists. So therefore, it is a market which is heavily competitive. Every single jeweler is there, and perhaps the number of jewelry stores per square millimeter may be the highest in Dubai. You don't need another jeweler. But when Tanishq has entered, pretty much every consumer has said, what has taken you guys so long? You guys should have been here even earlier. So stores doing extremely well, and now with the Damas partnership further strengthened, and therefore the future is really, really, really bright. And the good news is both in terms of scale and in terms of profitability, we have certainly turned a corner last year. In terms of way forward, I think our work is pretty much cut out. It's going to be a focused effort in terms of expansion in North America to stay closer to the Indian diaspora, as well as in the Middle East with the Damas partnership to kind of really go deep, largely in UAE and in Dubai. Thanks to Trump and the tariff piece that we saw last year, like they say, necessity is the mother of invention. It made us really go global in our supply chain and develop alternates to India sourcing, which we were extremely successful in doing. And therefore, we already have a pretty resilient and global supply chain for both diamond and gold jewelry, but we will ensure that that part is further stepped up. But importantly, I think one space which Tanishq does really, really well, which we've managed to do last year, is really connect with the global Indian, someone who manages multiple identities, someone who's an Indian at heart, but happens to be outside. And let me show you a film which kind of really brings this out, that you can take Indians out of India, but you can't take India out of Indians.
How was Diwali in India? So many sweets. But the dentist told...
Oh, in India during Diwali, nobody listens to the dentist.
There's more lights inside the house than outside.
This is India wali Diwali.
वैसे इंडिया वाली दिवाली में बीवी की आंखों में भी दिए जलते हैं। हैप्पी दिवाली।
दिल खोल के मनाइए इंडिया वाली दिवाली। तनिष्क।
Thank you. Raghavan spoke of the Cannes Award for I+, and where's Neeraj? I think this film has won how many awards in the US? 7 awards in the US, which this film has won. And we've just got started. Okay, so I'll come to the slide that perhaps is most awaited. I think there's, we only see opportunity. And like Ajoy keeps telling us, our focus is to drive growth. And that's the one thing that we will always strive for. And even at our scale, with the engines that we have, we expect to get to 2x by FY30, which will take us to about 11% market share in India. It's about a 19 to 20% revenue growth. In terms of stores, from about 800 plus, we expect to get to about 1,400 stores. So that's all that I wanted to share with you all. Thank you for your patience and look forward to connecting.